Hey, what up guys, how you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome to a new episode of the FIFA 20 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. This is episode number 30. Yes, it's a double upload. It is Sunday night, so if you haven't seen today's earlier video, make sure you click in the top right corner where you can find that one. Pause this one, go watch the last episode from earlier today, catch yourself up, and then come back to this episode. And when you get here, smash a thumbs up on the video. Like I said, for a double upload, let's get 4,000 likes. You guys can make that happen. And don't forget, of course, to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Click that notification bell so you never miss an upload. So today's episode is going to be me progressing through my weekend league journey. We didn't get off to the greatest of starts. If you saw today's earlier video, we basically started 2-1. Now, I have gone out and spent 27,250 coins on what will hopefully be a very good super sub. We bought Leon Goretzka. He's someone that we had in the last weekend league, and then I brought him on at halftime. He's a good replacement for Ndombele. And then this is like the other formation that I might potentially go to. Like this is if we wanted to keep Ndombele on but bring like Lucas off. We could bring Goretzka on and switch to that 4-1-2-1-2. Because I seem to struggle against it, but I can't seem to really play with it. So maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe I just need to put some time into that formation. But mostly, as you guys know, I'm sticking with the 4-4-2 for now. So these games were from Saturday afternoon, so from about midday till about 4 PM or something like that anyway. And I'm not going to lie, I think it might have been the worst gameplay experience I think I've had on FIFA 20 so far, which is unfortunate. Obviously, the gameplay seemed pretty tragic. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw a little bit of like unhappy tweets from me, which I guess I do every now and again. But yeah, it was just more of a... I just really struggled. I was creating some chances, but I just wasn't really making them stick. Like I was hitting a lot of things red because I just felt like the timing was off. A lot of my shots were either hitting the post or goalkeepers were saving. And it was a really poor gaming experience because I felt like my players weren't necessarily making runs. It's like it wasn't registering the LB button when I play a pass and do a quick 1-2. It wasn't registering or triggering a run. And that's a good word, actually, triggering, because I think I was actually getting rather triggered, especially when my first game of the day resulted in playing against a 5-at-the-back team who just stuck like that, stayed really, really low depth and stuff, and then ended up getting a 90th minute free kick, which was a couple minutes over the allotted injury time, and then Madison just decides to stick it in the corner when my wall parted like the seas. So, yeah, I mean, at that point, we're 2-2. Like, that's probably about as bad a start as I could have possibly got. So that wasn't a great one. It wasn't great for my overall motivation and mood going into the rest of my games. But at 2-2, middle of Saturday, like, I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't necessarily be coming up against people. It'd be very unlucky for me to come up against people that are highly skilled, because if it is somewhat based around form, my form is at 0 in the middle of Saturday. So like halfway through the weekend league, I still haven't got any form. So yeah, like I would imagine I would come up against other people that were like similar win-loss ratios, or other people that haven't really gotten started just yet. So I'm 1-1 against this guy. I then push through with Mane, hit the bar there. It's just like, all right, okay. And we finally, like, this is someone that was actually not playing drop back. And you can see just how much easier it is to get through a defense like that. Sometimes my players actually made runs, and then I could play that through ball and get through one-on-one and end up having a chance to score the goal. We did eventually make it 3-1 just after the halftime break, and I think we make it 4-1 with Neymar here. Mane just knocks it in, I smash it first time, and that is going to result in a rage quit, and that's more what I would expect at this stage of the game, just knowing like whatever my level is of skill on FIFA 20. I know that if at the very start of Foot Champs, it's kind of unlucky to get matched against people that I lose against, and I have been known to go like 10-0 before. So yeah, like I would hope, especially after I've lost a couple, that I would come up against people where I could beat. Maybe I would have a better skill at the game than them. But then what happened is that it seemed to really even out, because even though I was getting lots of chances, I wasn't scoring them, and the delay in the game, which I assume my opponent was also getting, just meant that this game was the game just felt super boring, and there wasn't really much happening. I mean, in this game right here, I get a red card with Longley in literally the first minute of the game. So I have to play with 10 men, and I'm 1-0 down after literally 1 or 2 FIFA minutes. So we end up doing this, bringing Goretzka on, putting Sissoko as a centre-back, and not playing with a left mid. We have to sacrifice Lucas Moura for this game. But we do get back into it. Neymar whips it in, and Mane is able to slot that one home. That's our equaliser, 10 minutes after he was able to score. Then Mane gets into the box again right here, of course, just slots it through to Neymar, who turns, spins, and shoots. And we actually turn ourselves up to go 2-1 up in this game, even though we've got 10 men, even though we were 1-0 down, and this game was just looking like a write-off right from the get-go. We have sort of turned it around at least. But this guy wasn't done. His St. Maximin was a big threat to me. I genuinely struggled against him. And Felipe Anderson has got more power behind that header than I've ever got on any header on FIFA 20. So that is what equalises for him. But it was opportunities like that the ball just wasn't going where I hoped it would go. Getting so unlucky to smash the post and stuff. Eventually we scored this one, I think, probably because we green timed it. But yeah, it was just, there was just a certain few situations where I was like, I think any other day these balls would go in the back of the net, or this would work for me, or I wouldn't concede this goal. And I just felt like I was getting rather unlucky. So in a game here where I really struggled, I ended up going all the way to extra time. I ended up bringing on Mo Salah, who turned out to be a bit of a difference maker, because in the 117th minute, he gets through with enough space to whip an RB cross to the back post, and Neymar is able to finish. So somehow there, we've come away with a victory with 10 men. So that's a pretty big boost. I mean, I was stressed after the game, don't get me wrong, but like it's a good boost of motivation that we were actually able to outscore that guy with less men on the pitch. So a bunch of XP completed. I think we ended up completed like the weekly bronze, and we're now into silver, and we also got the daily objectives of that day done. We can move into the next one against Top Boy. Has anyone seen that series on Netflix, by the way? That's really good. I enjoyed that when I watched it. Now, he's got a Prem team, but it's not the greatest of Prem teams. Yeah, there's a Pukki, yeah, there's a Zaha, but the rest of it, I'm just not that fussed about. I should be able to, like, I'm out teaming this guy. I have a better squad than this guy, so I should be able to win, right? It took a goal to be gifted to me for me to actually score after 28 minutes. And then I basically gifted him a goal by, like, not being able to get the right defender to sprint in time to catch up to Zaha, and then bringing the goalkeeper out so he could just basically parry it, header it past me. But a few moments later, Neymar gets an opportunity, and he actually does... he thunders that finesse shot into the back of there. That's a powerful finesse shot right there. And then we end up going 3-1 up. I think it's Ndombele that ends up getting on the score sheet, who is someone I have been thinking about replacing. And I feel like I'm currently just using him because I have him. He's untradeable, right? Whereas, like, and we bought a 27k sub for, as in Goretzka, for the bench. Whereas, like, if I could just use Ndombele as my bench player, and then I could buy someone for the coins that Goretzka cost me in centre mid. Like, I think Gini Wijnaldum could probably be an absolutely brilliant centre mid. Maybe better than Ndombele. I don't know. I don't know if he's a little bit more well-rounded. He's certainly higher rated. Very similar, like, good dribbling and stuff like that, and good all-round stats. But I think he could be maybe a little bit of a better player. I think we could link him up as well. We'd have to switch Ndombele and Sissoko. So Sissoko's the centre mid, and then pull Ndombele out, put him on the bench, and then bring Gini Wijnaldum in. And then, of course, he would get a link to Mane, and that would be enough. And I just feel like maybe that would work quite well. So I'm thinking about maybe giving that a shot for my final run of games. Or something else. I might end up changing it again. Goretzka's obviously a good super sub to bring on, but I think Ndombele could probably be quite good to bring on as well. And in this game right here, we go 2-0 up after literally like 29, 30 minutes of the game. Mane getting on the score sheet there. And it just seemed like, once again, I was actually able to play some through balls in this game and end up getting 2-0 up. But some really solid play right in the 45th minute. My opponent knocks it through, ends up finding that open pass to St. Maximin. And then in the 67th, he's back in the game. I got to keep my head in this. I got to focus more if I want to end up winning this one. So I think I ended up making my substitutions then. Neymar trying to turn a bit like a bus in this connection, but we're getting inside, and then the first minute of extra time, you know, where we actually go into extra time, we end up scoring off of kickoff, and then Neymar knocks it into Rashford, 1-2s it back to him. I mean, that goes through the legs, that goes through the legs. It couldn't have been a sloppier, luckier goal, if I'm honest with you. But I think that, like, when the connection's good, I think you make that pass and he just taps it in with his strong foot first time. For some reason, he turns around, ends up trying to hit it with his weak foot, still goes past the goalkeeper. It was just a little bit mind blown. And like you saw right there, that game was mine. Look at how many shots and stuff I had. I'm just struggling. It's been a stressful run. However, the only game we've lost so far today is that first one. So we're going on a bit of a run. We're up to 6-2 right now, after being 2-2. So that's one positive at least, I guess. And we go into this one. This guy's got a red Jorginho. He's also got Maddison, who for some reason is like my arch nemesis. I don't know whether it's because he used to play for Norwich or something. But the inform Maddison just wiggles around me every time I play against him. He's a very, very solid player. And I ended up getting 2 goals with Neymar in this match, where there were many chances that I could have had, but when I was receiving the ball to Neymar, I was trying to turn on the inside and play it short to Mane to then give and go. However, my opponent was reading that every single time. So there was 1 or 2 opportunities where when I received the ball, I scooped around the backside, around the other way, and then went on a run, and I was clean through, and that's how I was able to score my goals. And then I can see why my opponent rage quit there. Did you see how I got that goal? Honestly, what is happening today? Next game we come up against flashback Theo Walcott. Now that is someone which I've played against a couple of times, and he really hasn't troubled me when I've come up against him. So I was hoping it would be a similar situation in this one. 4 or 5 minutes on the clock. Mane's turned the defender nicely. I'm going to shoot this one at the near post, and that is enough to go past the goalkeeper. I think in the real world, the goalie saves that one, but in the FIFA world, the near post is still kind of OP. And we end up going 2-0 up with Neymar after 8 minutes, forcing a super fast rage quit, and that's good for the motivation, because that's just another game ticked off in the space of time where it's almost like you haven't really played a game. So yeah, we got to be super happy with that. 2 shots, 2 goals, loads of possession. Didn't let my opponent in the match for the first 10 minutes, and we get a rage quit, boosting ourselves up to 8 wins. 8-2. I would 8-2 be my next opponent right now, because I'm on a streak of wins, and it is that is one of the sweatiest centre-back partnerships that I could come up against. For some reason this weekend, the most difficult defender I've played against is Joe Gomez. He's outstanding. He's ridiculous. He's like, you shall not pass. He is a wall. For some reason, he's just got enough pace. And when my players aren't making those runs behind the defender... Oh, look at that, by the way. Oh, no, it's so bad. Oh, I can't believe that one doesn't end up going in the back of the net. And then he runs down the other end and scores. Like, I was pretty much dominating this game. And then that happens. And it just made me chuckle. Because I felt like this one went all the way to penalties. And I was like, I'm going to get rigged here. I am going to get rigged here. But I score my first one and save his first one. So we're already in the driving seat. And then I get my second one saved because I expanded the circle too much. So it meant that the ball could go basically anywhere. He steps up with Adama Traore. And that is quite possibly the best penalty I've seen on FIFA 20. Really, really nice. But I was able to bluff my opponent with the head movement, by moving the head to start with and then going back to the middle. But it's 2-2 right now. It is literally even Stevens. Somehow I end up scoring that one. It might have been because I ended up timing it. I'm not sure. But I saved the next one. So it is advantage Lasty at this point. If we score this one with Sissoko, all is going to be well in the world. We win the game. Yeah, so we come away with a 4-2 penalty win there. But I had 17 shots. I guess I didn't get enough on target. But yeah, I'm glad we won that one, because I think that one might have just really, really sent me over and just like wound me up so much that I would have raged and not play anymore that day. So this is going to be the final game of the episode for us to go up to 10-2. We will end up winning this match. So it's a good little streak that we've been on. A nice goal from Neymar right there. He actually gets the finesse shot and actually manages to not get saved this time, which is great. He plays it through to Bale, and that's a near post outside of the strong foot. boot. I'm trying to say boot and foot, and I'm saying I sound like a Liverpudlian. I sound like when he's hit it with his left foot. But anyway, yeah, like we end up going 2-1 down. Douglas Costa with, again, one of the greatest goals I've seen on this game. He literally hits it top bins. And then, well, we've got a game to get back into now. We're 2-1 down. Sissoko knocks it in to Neymar, scoops around that defender, smacks it into the back of the net. Lovely finish. I don't know how many times I've tried that this weekend and it's either hit the bar or gone over. But this time it seemed to work, and then we knock it into Ndombele, who is able to finish right there. But that's a situation where I'm not super confident with him, right? Like inside the box, he's only got like 70 shooting. So maybe someone like Gini Wijnaldum, he's got a few more shooting stats. I might feel a little bit more confident with him going forward. So I think I might give that a little go for my final run of games. See if we can make it work, because he's more of an out-and-out centre mid as well, I think. So we'll see what happens with that. It would mean having to sell Goretzka. If he was able to sell them, we might make that happen, or we'll just leave it until after the weekend league. I'm not 100% sure. But we've reached 100 games with Ousmane Dembele. A lot of them he came off as a substitute and stuff, or it hasn't really got involved too much from the right mid spot. Neymar's on 66 goals, 28 assists in his half century. He's just hit 50 games, so obviously a ridiculous return from the Brazilian. And then Mane's on 13 goals, 8 assists in 17. So 21 contributions from 17 games. He's not doing maybe as well as I hoped, and he is a lot of coins to be holding up. At one point this weekend, I was almost at the point where I would just sell Mane, bring Rashford in, as we've already got an untradeable striker there, and then have loads of coins to maybe like spend on Kante, or I don't know what we do. Maybe upgrade back to Sergio Ramos or something. I'm not sure, but I'm not 100% set. I'm like not as set on Mane as I was on Sterling. So that tells you something, right? And I love Mane on this game. So yeah, we've got some thinking to do, but I won't make too many drastic changes before the end of this weekend league. And then during the week, obviously for the rest of this week, we'll be taking on, finishing up the weekend league, and then we'll start our stuff for icon swaps. I'm going to need to start getting some rivals wins with some first owner squads, and we're going to start working our way to some tokens to unlock maybe Roberto Carlos, maybe Steven Gerrard, maybe Rio Ferdinand. I'm not sure just yet, but that is of course the next movement for the road to glory. Guys, that's going to be the end of the episode. Hit me with a thumbs up button. If you could hit 4,000 likes on this double upload, that would be amazing. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Click the notification bell. You can follow me on Twitter and Insta. The links are down below and on screen right now. And most importantly, I hope you all have a wonderful night. I'll catch you tomorrow with another video. Peace.